you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we are here to talk about some reality things. The first thing I want to discuss is Married to Medicine. It breaks my heart to have to come on here and say this, but Married to Medicine is not good. I don't want to say this, but Married to Medicine is bad. Married to Medicine is bad. It's boring. It's not like bad Potomac bad. It's just boring. It's just boring. There's no reason to tune in. Like, I might catch up on it at the reunion, because I do think that reunion is going to be hot. I think that reunion going to be hot as hell. But I just think watching it from here on out into the reunion, I probably won't be tuning in. Maybe on a lazy Saturday, I'll put it all on while I'm cleaning up the house or something. But it's just not tune in weekly television. And there's many reasons for that. And that is what we are going to talk about. So I'm going to run through the ladies. I'm going to tell you what's working, what's not working, who should stay, who should go. And let's start from the beginning. Let's start from Heavenly, because I feel like at this point, the show is kind of the Heavenly show. So let's start with Heavenly. Heavenly is the one who is showing up to work. Heavenly is showing up to work the most. Heavenly wants this show to work. I think Heavenly can get along and argue with everyone on this show. Heavenly, of course, needs to stay. I think the problem with Heavenly is Heavenly has no personal storyline. Heavenly has been on this show for so long, and we have never gotten inside Heavenly's life in any ways. How many times do we have to see her say she's so obsessed with Dr. Damien? How many times do we have to be like, ooh, her daughter's going off to college. She's going to be so sad. I'm so strict. Those moments are fine in between stuff, like cute little moments. Those moments are fine. But this Married to Medicine, yes, has always been an ensemble show, but what made Married to Medicine so good is actually their one-on-one lives. Like when we just go into these people's houses and see what's going on in their home, that's what set Married to Medicine apart from any of these other shows. They had all good personal storylines. They were dealing with real shit, right? Heavenly has never given us real shit, and now that Heavenly doesn't have anyone on the show who's as crazy as her, so Mariah's gone, Quad is gone. No one is like any crazier than her or willing to go up against her because they don't care. Heavenly is kind of left sitting there. So Heavenly, you're going to have to give us something personal. You're going to have to give us something personal that's not stupid. I know you're going to have to open it. Everybody's life ain't perfect, right? And the thing is, I don't want Heavenly's life to be bad, but I know everybody got something going on in their life. Even when Heavenly went down to Florida and talked about her upbringing, that stuff is good. That stuff, you have something in your life to divulge, and that's what you need to do. So that's my issue with Heavenly. If Heavenly doesn't have someone to directly go against, she's kind of useless. Like, she's funny. She's always funny in confessionals, and Heavenly's always willing to go there, but there's going to have to be more to get this going, because this show, like I said, yes, it's an ensemble show, but this show, you're not just there for the big old moments. You're there for the small personal stuff. I would like small personal stuff. That brings us actually to Sweet Tea, because this goes back, the Sweet Tea and Heavenly bullshit is so fucking forced. I don't even know why do Heavenly and Sweet Tea dislike each other? There is no reason for them to dislike each other. It's just 100% forced. They're going back and forth, and for what reason? Sweet Tea can stay, I guess. Here's my thing about Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is not fun to play the dozens with, because I don't think Sweet Tea's life is that good. I have my issues with Dr. G. I believe everything Quad said about Dr. G. I do not believe being married to Dr. G would be fun. Sweet Tea still works a job. Like Dr. G is just not so money. Sweet Tea just get to kick her feet back in the sun. And Dr. G seems controlling. When she told that story about the alarm and him like acting like someone broke into the house, that seems miserable. And then Sweet Tea is having issues with fertility and all of this stuff. And then you have Heavenly like coming at her to make good show, to make good TV. It just doesn't seem fun. She's living in Quad Quad's house. Sweet Tea, I feel bad for Sweet Tea, quite honestly. Like, when I'm watching Sweet Tea on my television, it doesn't seem like, ooh, this young girl lucked up on a rich older man, and you know what, she gonna take him to the bank till she leave him. It doesn't feel that way, because number one, Dr. G ain't that moneyed, and number two, she living in Quad house, and Dr. G is controlling. Like, it's just like, I feel bad for Sweet Tea. I don't see Sweet Tea getting anything great out of this situation, except for being on this show and making money. But I'm sure, I feel like Dr. G probably tells her, like, I got you on this show and I can get you kicked off, you know? And so it's just like, the Sweet Tea stuff just always rubs me the wrong way. That, like, them ganging up on Sweet Tea rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. So something about Sweet Tea just doesn't work for me. I feel like Sweet Tea defends herself, so people are like, ooh, well, Sweet Tea, she puts up a good fight. You can't, like, bully her. I feel like Sweet Tea has to do that, because all her life she had to fight. Like, I just feel like so much of her life right now is a fight. And it doesn't help that she's Toya's flunky. I think Sweet Tea is Toya's flunky. It reads that way. A lot of what Sweet Tea does is Toya's doing. Like I said, I think Sweet Tea, after Toya knew she wanted Quad off the show, Sweet Tea was that good replacement for that. And so that's why she does all of this. But I don't know, something about Sweet Tea this season hasn't been able to work. But I do think if we get more into Sweet Tea's life, but then what? Like, we get more into Sweet Tea's life and realize Dr. G sucked. We already know that. We already know that. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, I don't even know what Sweet Tea could give me to make me even really love Sweet Tea. Do I think Sweet Tea gonna have that reunion cracking? Hell fucking yes, and I can't wait for it. But I just don't know if Sweet Tea is just made for reality TV, because it just seemed everything, she comes into every scene looking so exhausted, and I'm just like, why is she so exhausted? The next thing is Toya. Toya gonna have to give us a storyline and quick. I get it, you start and whine, everybody got a made-for-TV business, and, you know, I don't mind seeing it, but there gotta be more. There gotta be more. I don't care if we get Toya Eugene Finances Part 4. I don't care what's going on with Eugene and Toya, what's going on with the marriage. Do some marriage counseling, something. Toya gonna have to give us a storyline. Toya is not doing nothing. Toya came on this season to get Quad kicked off the show, and now that she got that, she thinks she got her feet up, but, like, you're gonna have to give more. And that brings a question to me. Toya wanted Quad off the show. What was her elaborate plan with this? Now that Quad is off the show, y'all, it just puts a bigger magnifying glass on y'all. Oh, that y'all don't do shit. Everybody can see now that none of y'all have anything going on. None of y'all have anything going on. For the past 2 years, y'all issues have been with Contessa, or y'all issues have been with Quad, and nothing else. So now that she's gone, y'all gonna have to bring something to the table, and it makes y'all have to do more work. I think in the end, they're gonna realize getting Quad kicked off the show now allows them to have there's no wiggle room. There's no wiggle room. Every girl y'all bring on, it's useless. Like, Sweet Tea is the person who's gonna stick around the longest, but it's going to make y'all have to do more work. So I don't even know what was her end game with even getting Quad off the show, because you don't got shit going on. You don't got shit going on, Toya, and you going to have to figure something out. So we going to have to get more personal storylines from Toya. Toya has nobody also to go back and forth with this Quad is going. Toya and Quad are foils. They are. Therefore, that's what made them good. They could be friends sometimes. Then they were enemies. It was always frenemies. They had a good dynamic. I think Toya needs Quad. I think Toya needs Quad more than anybody else needs Quad on this show. They just do. Watch, whenever reunion come down the pipe, guess who gonna be arguing? Toya and Quad. They work as enemies. It's like how on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Portia and Kenya work. Like, they're always going to work as enemies. They have good negative chemistry. That is Toya and Quad. Toya and Quad have good negative chemistry. And so they need one another. And so I don't understand that. But yeah, you're going to have to get personal too. And that's why the show boring, because you ain't doing nothing. Who's next on the show? Simone, I know you love your boys so much, and I'm sure there are so many positive traits about your boys, but the rest of us don't care. The rest of us do not care about Simone and her boys. I don't know if Simone and Cecil realize how poorly their kids come across to us, the viewers. As the viewers, Simone, your kids come off as ungrateful, rude, do-less, and lazy, and everything else in between. That's how they come across to us. And I think you think they're endearing. That's why they act the way they act, because you be letting them act like to you, they come across as endearing. To us, they do not. So for the past 3-4 episodes, it's been about you and your kids, and like, you're not doing, there's no solution. She talked about how her kids ain't doing much of shit, and the solution was to get them a condo. Like, like, it's not good. Simone and Cecil are gonna have to give us a good storyline about their marriage. Like, that's Simone and Cecil at the best. I still believe their relationship is a toxic ass mess. And so we gonna have to get to the root of that. Oh, it's time for Simone to go. It's time for Simone to go. Simone is now Toya's flunky. And so it's just like, she's another person, like, with Kwai gone, what's the point of you, Simone, too? Like, give us, and the thing is, I know it's easy to be like, oh, we need, like, marriage storyline. It doesn't even have to be that. There's something going on in your life. This son storyline could be good if the answer wasn't to enable your children more, give them a condo, give them more shit that they can, like, not appreciate. Like, it just didn't make any sense. It's not a good storyline. It's boring. Come up with something else. Come up with something else, Simone. It's boring. The next person that we have is Jackie. What's going on with Curtis? Where is Curtis this whole season? Where is it? I love Jackie showing us her practice. Like, this is called Married to Medicine. But, like, what the fuck is going on with your home life, Jackie? What's going on? We don't know anything personal about Jackie and having in a couple seasons. We haven't. We haven't got everything with Jackie has been about business, what she's doing, what she's up to. Now, I do think that if Jackie was forced to divulge intimate, I think Jackie, out of everyone on the show, I think Jackie is the most willing to leave the show, especially with everything happening, with people talking about her practice and everything that was going on with that. So I do think you would start to get Jackie, like, being like, well, I'm out. And maybe that's what it got to be. Maybe that's what it gotta be. But then that brings me to this idea that, like, has Married to Medicine run its course? That's what it kind of feels like. Like, if I, like, sit down and think about it really long, like, what I would want everyone to bring, maybe Married to Medicine has run its course. Like, maybe we have seen everything that these groups of ladies can get into. Everyone is comfortable where they're at. There's really not much more to say. Everyone who has decided, so Simone and Jackie gonna be friends. Toya and Simone gonna be friends. Heavenly and Jackie gonna be friends. Everybody has decided who they gonna be friends with, and that's it. Like, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but it's boring. Next person, let's talk about new addition, Phaedra. What can you say? Phaedra didn't work for Married to Medicine. Phaedra didn't work for Married to Medicine. In the beginning, it kind of gave, like, it could be fun. Phaedra, in true Scorpio fashion, she does not want to talk about her shit. She does not want to talk about her shit. She does not want to get into the weeds. And you have to think about, for the past, almost 10 years? She hasn't had to. She hasn't been on any shows like that would make her really get into the weeds about her life. So she doesn't even want that accountability. She doesn't want people in her business like that. But it's like, if you're going to be on this show, you're going to have to. And I do think Phaedra being on the show has allowed for more people. Because Married to Medicine is more popular than ever, child. Like, people who said they never was going to watch Married. You know how long I've been trying to get people to watch Married to Medicine? And now everybody and their mama watching Married to Medicine. So, like, I love it for that. Because Married to Medicine deserves that. Married to Medicine has given us at least 8 great seasons of television. I just think Phaedra doesn't work here because Phaedra's not trying to work here. Phaedra, but I always said this. I always said Phaedra's best days are behind her on reality TV. Like, her time at Real Housewives of Atlanta was just a moment in time. It was lightning in a bottle, and it's over. And I just think trying to redo it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And then she's just not going to do it. I don't even think, even us saying Phaedra doesn't work, Phaedra coming back next season, because she probably will, it still won't work. She's not going to go back and forth with y'all. She's not going to go back and forth. So Phaedra's trying to give us these, like, moments, these like doing weird shit like the funeral home stuff, but that's not what makes Phaedra good. I think Phaedra should do more personable stuff, like do food drives, stuff like that. The stuff she used to do on Atlanta, that's the stuff she needs to bring back and start doing, you know? So that's just not gonna work. Married to Medicine is not good right now. I do think it can always come back. I always think Married to Medicine can come back, but it's gonna take all hands on deck. It's gonna take all hands on deck, and people gonna have to be willing to exploit their personal life a little bit to do that. Let's move on. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kandi Burruss Tucker told us that she has not gotten her renewal slip for Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm assuming nobody has gotten their renewal slip. So people have asked the question, who should come back? Who should not? What are they going to do? Here's my thoughts. I don't think Kandi's going anywhere. I don't think Kenya's going anywhere. And therein lies the issue. This show got to be blown up. This show has to be blown up. Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to have to become okay with having 1.5 seasons that nobody watches. Bring in a bunch of new girls. And when I say bring in a bunch of new girls, I do not mean bring in somebody who had a show on WeTV, bring in somebody who had a show on Oxygen, bring in somebody who had a show on VH1, bring in somebody we know from here who friends with. No. You need to get 7 ladies who we quite literally have never heard of before. Think Married to Medicine when it launched. You're going to have to get 7 ladies who have a decent amount of money, who want to be on this show, who have an interesting personal life. That is, think Love and Marriage Huntsville when it started. Like 7 people who like, we just like, whoa, where the fuck these people come from? That is what this show needs. Like, just bring us a bunch of people we just haven't heard of, who have an interesting life, who low-key, who we can exploit. That is what we need, because I am so sick of the conversation of, should we bring back Kandi? Should we bring back Kenya? Should we bring back Kim? Should we bring back Cynthia? Should we? Them girls can go on a girls trip. Send them on a girls trip on Peacock if y'all want to see them so goddamn bad. But just seeing them for 10 plus episodes on Real Housewives of Atlanta to do what? What? What do y'all want to see from Kandi? What do y'all want to see from Kenya? Kenya was going through a divorce for the past 5 years on this goddamn TV show, and we didn't hear nothing about it. If you go through a divorce, this is why I want Ashley going from Potomac. If you going through a divorce and we don't hear shit about it, what could you possibly be going through that we need to hear from then? If everything that happened with her and Mark was none of our business, then nothing going on in her life is any of our business. She can go. I'm tired of sitting up here being like, because I want these people to have a check, they should just be on my TV. Go on a girls trip. I'll watch. Go do a girls trip, and that's where I'll watch you. But like, this show is about your personal life. This show is about people being able to relate to you in some way. And if you get a divorce and you don't want to tell us nothing about it, or you can't tell us nothing about it, then boom, whatever. Next. There's just nothing more to see from them. I think we all can agree Drew and Sonya, I always forget her name. They're going right. I think Drew could stay, but you know what? Everybody don't agree with that, so I'll take that L. Drew can go. And I don't even know who else on this show. So with all that being said, blow the show up. I'm not watching it. I don't care who's on it next season. As long as anybody from the last cast, so as long as Kandi's on it, Ken's on it, and all these, Sheree, oh my God, Sheree needs to get off of television. Nobody wants to see Sheree anymore. Sheree don't make no sense. Why is Sheree here? No. It's late and it's tired. It gotta go. The next thing I want to leave you guys on, I am tired of hearing about Kim and Kroy's finances. Kim called the police on Kroy. They selling this. It's getting like sad now. Everything going on with Kim and Kroy is like getting sad now. They have kids. The police are being called. This person live in the basement. They selling off this. How much should they sell their house? It's getting really sad at this point. And the people even watching it as like enjoyment, like tuning in for enjoyment. What's going on? I think you've had your laughs. Like we realize now like Kim played a stupid game and got a stupid ass prize. Her ass should have stayed on Real Housewives of Atlanta as long as she could and collected her money. She clearly has a gambling issue, allegedly. And so, like, it just, I don't know. I just feel like the more we report on, the worse that it gets, and they need help. They simply need help as a family, and it's bad over there for them. And I just feel like the constant reporting on it just makes it more and more sad, especially for just like internet conversation. I don't know. I just, I don't know how they're going to get out of this. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.